can chat. Perfect. Okay, thanks for hopping on, guys. I know Mondays are crazy. But I think it's a good way to kind of start our week because I just like, I don't know, Monday's a good day for me to get organized because otherwise I'm all over the place. Okay, so there's lots coming up this next month that I want you guys to be aware of, and I'm going to kind of go over my schedule. What I'm going to do so that if any of you guys want to follow along with me, you're more than welcome to. If you have kind of your own plan and you want some thoughts and opinions on that, I'm happy to help with that as well and tell you what I would do. But here's kind of my plan of what I'm doing. I am filling my March group right now. So I'm going to I started T20 again today. I think I'm going to utilize the weights this round so I can kind of switch it up and people can see that different option. And so I'm talking to a lot of people about that right now in hopes of having a solid end of February and a solid beginning of March, because like I talked about before, that just helps me to keep my momentum going when I know that I can start the month with the deadline to help people get set up pretty quickly. And it just helps end the month too. So if you're struggling in the month, it's a good way to get some deadlines for the end of the month too. So mine's going to start on the 4th. I'm just going to start putting up the prep posts this week so that the new people that are in there right now can get that information about how to use Beachbody on Demand and where to find the food information and get set up so that we can transfer our other challengers from our other challenge group into this group on Monday for day 1, and everyone will be able to do their welcome and start fresh, but then these people don't have to go through prep again because they don't need it, obviously. So that was kind of my plan. So it's open, and there will be the first prep post is going to go up later today if you want to be in there, or you have people that you think need to be in there, or want help inviting to that, or see some of my sample invites, or we can talk about any of that. Let me know and we can go over that. Okay, the 4th also is when Just for Coaches Ultimate Portion Fix launches. I am going to be purchasing mine that day, and also because Portion Fix is like my go-to solid program, like this is what I feel good on nutrition-wise, I am going to go through the certification process with Autumn. I'm doing it now because I want to go through the first group with her. So I'm going to be getting that on the 4th. Also, just because I think that will help make my challenge group better and give me solid information to help you guys. I don't know about you, but like I work well with the plan, but I am better at following the plan when I know why I'm following it. So I definitely feel like having more information about food and my options and like how to utilize things for different stages and phases of life to help people will be really solid info for me, especially like sometimes I get confused about if I need to be adding in more calories or not when I'm doing extra things or when I'm pulling back. So I'm just curious to learn those things for myself, which is another reason why I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to start that on the 4th. I will be getting mine because we can as coaches. And then that way I feel like I will be able to talk about it over the next couple weeks so that on the 18th, when it goes on sale for everyone, I can open up like 10 spots for a nutrition-based group. And then 25th, I'm going to be kicking that off. So hopefully by that point, I will have already a solid plan for what we're going to do for the group. It's going to be a Shakeology only group in the challenge tracker. And then I'm going to be adding my people in there, and we'll go through that. If it goes really well, then I might chat about doing a nutrition-based group every month. So that's why I'm kind of excited to utilize that and see how it will go. Coach sneak peeks for me, I have planned one on the 13th and 14th of March, so that second week in between when our challenge group starts and before Ultimate Portion Fix goes on sale. And then I will also be planning a sneak peek on the 2nd and 3rd of April after the cruise, just because lots of people will be watching that. So I know it will be a good time to talk about coaching. If you're not going to be on the cruise, it's still a good time to talk about it for next year, your plans for next year, the opportunities that you're excited about, sharing our posts and things like that. So don't feel like you can't talk about it. I wasn't there last year and I still talked about it, and they still got interest from that. So think about how you want to utilize those things that are going on this month with coaches. So that's my basic plan for March. Any questions? Anything you guys are concerned about or curious about? If you guys have people that are interested in coaching right now, the event from last month is still up, and I've still been adding people in there or referring them to that to look through coaching things if they have questions, and then following up with them in just a message thread, like back and forth if they have questions. So don't feel like you can't plug people into that still, and utilize that if you want to be getting coaches right now. One of my biggest things that I felt like has changed my business this year is I have always been a solid challenge group inviter because I've always seen the benefits of that. And I feel like that's pretty true for everyone across the board. The thing that has changed it for me is finding my own voice, like being able to talk to people in a way that makes me comfortable. I know that for myself, I hate having small talk. Some coaches love small talk. I am not a small talk fan because I feel like if I'm talking to somebody about their family and feeling like they're just waiting to invite me to something, it's like not great. I would rather have somebody say, hey, look, I'm not sure if you're interested in this. If you're not, it's totally fine, and tell them what I'm all about and invite them, and then get to know them more even if they say no afterwards. So that's kind of how I run my process. I think I've talked to you guys about this before, but if you're doing stories, stories are a solid, easy way to invite people into your groups. Because if you are doing stories and somebody is following you every single day in your story, they know you. Like they already know you really, really well. And so it really is easy to talk to somebody who watches you on the daily because they can see that you're being consistent. They know that you're, what your voice sounds like, who you are, what your day looks like. They know about your journey. So when you invite them to something and they've been watching you on stories, it's way easier to have a conversation because they're like, oh yeah, that workout that I see you do every single day. So I do not have any issues inviting anyone that's watching my stories. I know we've had a lot of people who have said Facebook stories suck, but I'm just going to tell you, after doing them over the last month and a half, I've gotten a lot of people from Facebook story watchers. So I wouldn't overlook that option, even if you only have like 4 or 5 people viewing it at the moment. Okay, I'm going to open it up for questions. I know there were a couple that we can go over that I saw. And I know you guys have some.
What?
Don't. Okay. You guys, seriously? Okay. If you want to see my whole invite process, you guys using the tracker, I mean, I can show you what I do, but if you guys have seen that new tracker, and I think most of you guys have, I seriously follow that to a T, like every day. Like I time myself, I make sure I'm checking off every single box. Like I just follow that to a T every single day. Let's see. Oh, I'm posting. I know a couple people have mentioned, I do occasionally tag like in my stories, I've been tagging like T20 and Transform 20 because Shanti is all over the news with that right now. Like, he's on again today on the Today Show. It's like a hot thing that people are looking at. So I am hashtagging that. But typically, I would never hashtag Beachbody or say Beachbody in a post or anything like that. I don't think I mind saying like Shanti. And clearly, if you look at my Instagram, you can see that I'm a coach and I'm doing the program. But I feel like a lot of us, the reason you don't say those words, I say them when I'm messaging people. Like, even when I'm talking about coaching, I say I'm a Beachbody coach when I'm talking to people. But it's just like I think about it like this. When I am scrolling through Facebook or Instagram myself and I see something like a makeup post, but she automatically says like unique or something in the post, I kind of just like don't even look at it. Like, it's almost just like, yep, great. And I scroll. Not that I'm not interested in makeup, because guys, I totally am. And I'm sure that she could teach me some stuff. But like, it just, I don't know, like it just automatically registers as an ad in my brain. And so I just scroll past it. Whereas if she was showing me how to do something with makeup and then like said the name of like what she used but didn't say unique, like, oh, I used this like eyeliner that does this, and explained it, I'm more likely to ask her a question and talk to her about it than I am if I just see she uses unique. Does that make sense? So it's not like you can't use those words when you're talking to them on the back end, but you just have to be careful about how you use them in your posts, because they're kind of just like it's kind of just like an ad word. People know what that Beachbody is a sales thing, even if they don't know what Beachbody is. So it's just something to be aware of. Okay. You guys want ideas for, what do you want?
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you're getting coaches on your team, are they typically like challengers that have been doing good in your groups and then you invite them, or do you just right out of the gate invite to coaching, or do you do both?
I do both. I do think there are a lot of people that are in our challenge groups where if I feel like, okay, they're solid, I'm definitely going to be like, I think this is the thing. Like, I've always been really good at being like, you can be a discount coach. And I think that's pretty normal for most people. But the switch for me lately has been saying, hey, you could be a coach, and talking to them about that option. Fallback is discount coach. And usually for people, it's the opposite. It's, you can be a discount coach, and I'll talk to you about coaching maybe in a month or in 2 months. Where the thing is, like, I'm starting to realize, like, when you're on fire and you're in there and you're feeling good and you want to keep using Shakeology and you're just starting to see results with your body, that's when you want to coach. You want people to see you changing. You don't want people to see you already changed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we know that. But like, I think sometimes we hesitate to just give people the option. And the thing is, I'm just saying, hey, you could coach, or if you want, you can discount coach. And I'm giving them the option. I'm surprised myself lately with how many people are saying, oh yeah, coaching would be cool. And I think that's just because I've always been afraid before to give people that option, which is stupid because I know for myself that it has, I'll just say last time this year compared to our income this year has tripled. So to like not give people that option is kind of ridiculous when I know that it's done huge things for our family. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't have the income. Like last year, I mean, mentally I grew a ton as a coach. Physically I grew a ton as a coach. There are things I'm doing now that I would not have even considered entering if it weren't for being a coach. Like, there's things like that you have to consider. if you're struggling with that, I suggest that at the beginning of maybe every day, make a list of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, list the things that coaching is doing for you just today or just last week, or like focus on what it's doing for you. Because I promise you, you'll be surprised. Because really, it's all about growing that confidence muscle. For real. Did that help?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Also, you'd be surprised if you ask, even in like Team Inspiration, how many of you guys started out as discount coaches? Like 90% of the rock stars that are star diamonds and above in there started as discount coaches. So you can't overlook those people. Okay. Any other questions? Any other like combos that you guys want to go through? I think seeing how other people would respond to messages sometimes is really powerful too. There have been people who have told me no and then changed their mind in like a paragraph with changing, like starting a challenge group versus not. So sometimes it's just really in the way that you're talking to people or what they're understanding. And I think in my first year, I'll say like there were probably plenty of conversations where I went into it and like they would just share a little hesitation, like, oh, I'm worried about this. And I would be like, oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll come back to you in 6 months. Whereas if I would have just like actually looked at what their question was and maybe just answered it, like honestly, they would have been like, oh, okay, cool, well, let's do this. So sometimes it's those little teeny tiny things. Do you guys see value in $160 for a year? Like, that's a huge thing. And I think I have to emphasize that a lot too, because people will automatically see $160 and be like, but when you say this is for a full year and you can be in my challenge group for forever and I'm here to help you whenever, like that's a ton of value. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh, okay, I can do that. Okay. What's everyone reading right now?
I just finished Girls Stop Apologizing, and I'm going to start Essentialism today.
Sweet. I haven't read Essentialism yet, but Micah said that's her favorite, so I should look into that one. It's a good one, I hear.
Yep.
Okay, 4 days left in the month. You guys need help, or if you're in conversations and you want info, then feel free to share people that you're talking with and ask for help and responding to messages or whatever. Totally happy to do that. Even if you want to do it individually. I know I have a couple people that do that already, but I'm trying to think if I had anything else for you guys because I don't want to just send you on your way. I feel like there's something that I'm missing. Oh, let me think. I don't know. I'm sure I'll remember later. If I remember, I'll hop on live in our group or something and say it. Okay. No more questions? Everyone feels good with the last 4 days of the month?
Yep.
Hey, make sure you check back with people. If it's someone that you talked to, like even 3 weeks ago, sometimes I'll go back to it and say something. So don't forget to check back. That's like 90% of where my challengers come from. People I check back with. Okay. Love you guys. Happy Monday.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you guys.
See you.